So, do you have any questions regarding last session?
No.
Great.
Venkat, have you deployed the application in the cloud? Did you get any opportunity for that?
Uh, that will discuss. I will give you separate class for that. How to deploy the cloud and all.
Okay, okay.
Okay, no?
And what about this APIs?
API manager.
Yes, yes.
API manager, right? See,
Creating APIs and all.
yes, yes. There is further. There is a separate class called RAML.
Okay.
See this? We have a RAML VM endpoints. There is a third chapter in that APA with the RAML part. So part 1, part 2. Here I will explain how to create that APA. Means API using API manager, how to create the RAML things. Under the RAML only, I will explain you how to create the RAML file. In that, how to create the schemas and all, I will explain. Then based on that only, we'll see how to create the project also. We have to export RAML file.
Okay.
Based on that, we will create the project. Okay, if you want, then I will explain also. I mean, it's actually that is in third chapter. First, we know that these all concepts, then that is easy.
Okay. Okay. Carry on, please carry on.
Okay, take care. Today's I'm going to discuss about these variable stuff. So, real variables. Then yesterday we discussed about standalone structure, standalone Mule, standalone server structure, and the directory structure also. Then Mule variable flow. So session variable, we'll see this. We'll see message routing if possible. So that's a debugging Mule application also. We'll see actually once again. So because already explained how to do debugging Mule application. So we'll see this where while debugging where we can see the variables, where is the place to see the variables are coming or not. You can see. Okay. So generally in MuleSoft there are three types of variables are there. So I will show you that location. See here if you type variable here, so we have a three types of variables: session variable and the record variable.
Mm.
What was the difference? So you know about variable, right? So what is the purpose of the variable? Why you are using variable? See, while writing a coding, so sometimes what happen, we need to define some variables. We have to capture some information in that variables actually. So in that flow, this is the flow. Actually, we have three types of flows. So this is normal flow. It's a flow. Next one is private flow. Next one is subflow. This is the public flow, we can say. It's a flow. So if you see here, what was the differences, other flows and this. So in this, there is an inbound connector is visible in here, right? So this is nothing but it's a normal flow. If you go for private flow, um, there is no error handling actually. I'm sorry, there is no inbound connector, but we can handle error handling also in that private flow. Another flow is subflow. Subflow is depend on the main flow actually. This is the main flow. Sometime what happen, so based on our requirement, we just refer that flow actually. We have a component called flow reference. So using this flow reference, we'll drag and drop into in our flow. So we can refer that subflow. So in which purpose in we'll use that subflows. Sometimes suppose while writing my flows, I want to write a separate, I mean database connection. I have to write a separate flow. So that's why we have to create that whole database related thing. We have to create a subflow, then we just call that flow reference. We can refer that subflow. That time what happen, whenever flow reference will come, that will go to the that subflow, then it will come back again to the main flow actually. So
Okay.
difference is there is no error handling. Separate error handling won't be there in the subflow actually. Whatever the error happened in the subflow also, that will redirect to main flow. Redirect to main flow. Here itself, your main flow itself handling the error actually. Any exception happened, suppose
Mm-hmm.
suddenly the database is built, database we implemented all the things in subflow, we just referred into the main flow, think like that. So suddenly database credentials got changed, user ID, password got changed. So that time what happened, we can't able to connect to the that database, the destination system. So that time what happened, so it will give some invalid connection exception, something network exception, some, or else if you handle properly, we can give something credentials not found, or else credentials changed will give properly. So that SQL exception actually, nothing but. So that SQL exception redirect to the here itself actually. That is
Mm-hmm. Okay.
nothing but a subflow. If you go for private flow, in the private flow what happened? There is no inbound connector actually. So
Mm-hmm.
that is also we can refer through flow reference only, you can refer it. It will go there. In that, if you want to handle error handling, there itself we can handle it actually. So how it look like actually? Suppose if we call flow reference, something flow I'm calling here. Okay, see here. So here it was asking, I just drag and drop that flow. It was asking source and destination, source and process. Can you see here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Source
Yes.
and process. So if we don't put any source, it's nothing but a private flow. I just
Mm-hmm.
drag and drop some components here and just keep it a database related thing. So see this. So I'm not keeping any source actually. I just keep it into process location. So this is nothing but it's a private flow. There is no inbound. So we can keep it some flow reference here. It will redirect to here. Once this is done, it will come back again. Anything happened, error, exception or error. So here itself we can handle it actually. But subflow is not like that actually. If you use subflow, see I just drag and drop the subflow here. See here, this is a subflow. There is no two parts actually here. This is subflow. There is no two parts here. There is no inbound. There is no process. So all thing is process only. Just we have to keep it as a flow reference here. We have to refer this. It will come back. Even any issue happen in the subflow also, it will come back here itself. We have to handle it actually. You are clear, right? Three types of flows: main flow and private flow, then subflow. So
Mm-hmm.
then coming back to our concept, that is a variable. So while writing these flows, we have to define the variables. So in the variable, we have to keep it some data in that. Suppose think like this: I am sending some JSON data to the hitting to the Mule guy with some JSON data, with some JSON, or else how it is look like JSON. I will show you the sample.
Just a second, Venkat. Can we refer the flows from the other projects also?
You can refer, we can refer, because for that we need to create a different project actually. So there should be some relationship between the two projects actually. How it is the relation, nowadays people are creating what we call this Maven projects. In the Maven project,
Mm.
so we have to refer parent and child kind of thing. That time we can able to refer it.
Okay.
That is
Only if it is in Maven, then we can call, right?
Yes, then that is one way. Another way is think like this. There is a two projects. Second project you have to create a lif a jar file. That jar file you have to keep it into first project. That whatever the jar file contains might be some flows in that jar file. you can happily use it because the jar file in the jar file should be in the class path of first project. You can use it.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know. So for that we have to create the Maven project actually. That time what happened, we can keep it. There is a, I will show you the sample project if you want. Because anyway we have a separate session for Maven actually.
Okay.
We have a separate session.
Maven in the sense, is it related to Java?
No, it's not related to Java. It's kind of a framework actually. It's kind of
Okay.
framework. So we have to add a Maven support here. So in the window preference, we have to install the Maven. Then we have to refer here. Refer here. That time what happened? Your Maven, we can able to create the Maven project. So that time one PYM file it will generate actually pom.xml. This is normal
Okay.
project. That's why there is no pom actually. So in the form we have to mention the dependency location actually. That time we can refer different project flows also. There is no issue, but some relation should be there actually. Generally people will do like that only. So people will create one domain project. There is a concept called domain project. In the domain project, there is a pom.xml, they will keep it on XML file. In the XML, they will mention what is the parent, what is the root, what is the child. We can mention it actually. So that time we can able to refer different project flows also.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
generally the structure of JSON, coming back to JSON actually, the structure of JSON is look like this. This is a sample JSON. If you see here, even though this is inside JSON, some objects are there actually. So generally the JSON is look like this. JSON is look like this. So suppose we are sending some data to the Mule guy, right? We are hitting to the middleware with some JSON. So I want to hold some data from the JSON. Suppose I want to hold this summary into my variable. So because using next level of the flow, right? So that time what happened,
Mm.
we can keep it the data into the variable, right? Generally in Java what happened, we'll define some variables, right? Suppose I am writing some student class, right? The time what happens, student
Mm.
information like student ID, student name, student fee. So these are, we have defined some variables on the top of the class. Then we have to fill the information for the variable in the program actually. That way happened, right?
Mm.
So there is a, in that also we have a different variables in Java also, like global variables, like what we call within a method. If you write local variables, global variables, normal variables, three types of variables are there. So here also we have different types of variables. One is a session variable, another one is record variable, then normal variable. Three types of variables are there. So coming
Ah,
back to the variable, yeah,
normal variable or flow variable, right?
sorry.
Normal variable is flow variable.
Yeah, normal variable is nothing but a flow variable. Okay.
Okay.
So here variable. So here you know already about this HTTP connector. So the purpose of the variable is we just hold the information. See this here, whenever you drag and drop that variable, so this operation will ask actually. Initially it won't be their name and value. So you have to select this radio button, set to variable. Then it will ask the name and value. Name and value. So here I just dynamically getting the data. There is a concept called Mule expression, MEL, Mule expression language, MEL language. Using that, we are getting dynamically the data. So how we are getting the dynamically data? See this, there is a message. If you, I just remove this and again typing here. See, if you press Control and Tab, Control, keep it mouse there, just click Control and Tab. it will show you this. Suggestions it will show you. So what do you want to get it? My requirement is this is getting from the URL. This is I want to get name of the query parameter you can say. I want that query parameter through URL actually. Means query parameter means itself
Mm.
it's nothing but that will come as a URL. So how I am getting so through message actually. Message dot you can keep it. It will show clearly suggestions actually. No need to type whole thing. So inbound properties.
Mm.
Next one is that will come as a query parameters. Choose that query parameters dot name, whatever the name it is, the dot name.
What is the difference between message and payload here? Message and payload.
Yes, actually this message contains that message have some structure actually. While initial time I was showing actually, I mean Mule V itself. That message contains different properties actually. One is inbound properties, another one is outbound properties, another one is attachment. Three things it will contain. One is inbound properties, outbound
Mm.
properties, then attachments. Inbound properties means whatever you are sending to the service from the input, that is nothing but inbound properties actually. So that's query parameters, not URI parameters. Like that, there is nothing but a inbound properties. Outbound properties. Outbound properties means uh, we have to,
Whatever you are sending to the flow, right? Whatever you are sending to the flow.
sorry,
Bound is whatever you are sending to the flow.
yes, whatever you
Okay.
are sending to the flow as a input that is coming under inbound properties, under message. Generally, whatever you are sending, it will taken as a mule message. I'm saying about structure of the
Okay.
mule message. That mule message contain three parts. One is inbound properties, outbound properties, another one is attachment. You are clear. So first one is
Okay.
inbound properties. Inbound properties means whatever you are sending to the service, your API as an input, that is under input properties. Whatever you are sending
Mm.
as an output to the third party or else some target system, that will come as a output properties. Next, attachment. I want to send some attachment to your flow or else your service, that is coming under attachment. Is it clear? So that is a
Okay.
message structure.
Mhm.
So as of now, according to this service, this application, I'm
Attachments. Attachments in the sense, is it a kind of certificate like that?
no, it's not certificate. It's not certificate. We can send some data. So there is a, I'm sending like, I want to attach some XML file. I want to send it. I want to attach some CSV file. I want to attach some images. Some of the images I want to attach it and I want to send it. Understood? But there is certain limitation are there.
Okay.
We can send it as an attachment, but
Mhm.
there is some certain limitation is there, but we can't send GBs of data. For that we have to write again, we have to split into some chunks. So suppose I am sending some 2 GBs of images, right? So we can't send at a time actually. Your server might be get crash actually. That time what happened? We have to, as a developer, we have to split into different chunks of pieces. At a time 500 MB you have to send like that. We have to chunk it. There is a further, there is a splitter concept is there, Mule itself. We have to split it. So then you have to send it one by one chunk. Okay, no? Clear.
Mm, okay.
So now I'm trying to
Yeah.
put this as an inbound property, right? So that's why I'm keeping like this. Understood? This is a query parameter. So that query parameter means we have to send as a query parameter. So that is coming from the URL itself. Yesterday we saw that just simple URL. Now I'm trying to send some more parameters in the URL itself, right? So after the
Mm-hmm.
URL, I will show you how to frame that URL with query parameters. Whatever you are sending in the URL, the parameter is nothing but a query parameter. We can call it as a query parameter. So now I'm expecting name from the URL, from the URL. So whenever we hit the URL, we have to send that name also as a query parameter from the URL itself. That is my uh, thing actually. So here one more radio button is there here. If you choose radio button, so remove variable. Remove variable means I want to remove this QP name from the message, from the payload. Payload is nothing but a data. I want to remove that message, that QP name from the payload. Understood? Sometimes what happen, we can get a requirement like, so there is some 10 fields are there. 10 fields are we are getting in the payload. Payload is nothing but a data. So in the data, I don't want to send next level this QP name. Already some 10. So like this, I'm getting some messages like this, right? So I'm getting some 10 fields, but I don't want to send priority to the next level. I want to remove from this payload that priority. How can I remove? Just remove variable.
Can we add another variable to remove, just like description and priority 2? Can we remove 2?
At a time, two variables. Huh?
At a time 2 variables, right?
No, here we can mention only one name, one variable name itself. The two
Okay.
actually we can
If
remove
we
one.
want to remove another, you have to add another variable, right?
Yes, yes. Generally, people won't specific. See, if it is a variable, then we can remove it a variable. If it is a JSON data, first we have to keep it in a priority in a one variable, right? That time only can remove that variable. That
Mm-hmm.
priority we can remove it. Generally, how people will work it. So whatever necessary fields, whatever the fields required, that fields only you can take it. Whatever optional fields, right, we can ignore it actually. Your code itself, we have to build like that. We have to ignore it actually. So even that user will send whole information also, we can ignore it actually. Understood?
We can do it in filter, right? Can we do it in
Yes,
filter?
yes, we can do it. That way also can do it. In the filter you can check it. There is an expression also there actually. So you can write completely Java condition in the expression. In the expression you can keep it a condition. If that
Mm-hmm.
element is there or not, you can check it. If there will continue, if not there will redirect to the boss. This element is not there. We have to, that is a mandatory field for this. We have to send, we have to get back. Okay, this is about variable actually. So there is a set variable is there, get a variable, sorry, remove variable is there. If you want to set variable, you can set it. If you for that value name, you can give any name you can give it. But next level. Suppose if you want to remove this variable in the next level, just we have to choose this name, whatever you are mentioning the name itself, right? That unique name, that should be unique name for each and every variable. Then we have to mention there actually. We have to use that variable name. After that, so there is a MIME setting, right? If you want to use any encoding type, you have to choose this drop down any one of them according to your requirement. Next MIME type is, there is encoding type actually, ISO standards, right? You know that ISO standards. So accordingly you can use that one of them encoding type. Next one is here, there is a MIME type actually, application slash JSON, application slash CSV. What type of data you are getting, what type of data you have to send to the target system, you have to choose it actually, or else you are testing plain JSON. You are sending any plain JSON or else zip, JPG, whatever type you are sending in the value itself, right? You can choose it actually, but it's an optional field. If you not select also, it won't give any error. But this value is mandatory. Then this QP name is mandatory.
What? Can you just explain MIME once again? MIME.
So MIME type is, think like this. I am sending some data to the target system, but the target system is expecting
Mm.
some JSON format, but you are sending some plain text format. That time what happened, there is a data mismatch between you and your target system. So that's why what happened, if it is converting your data as a JSON, then that guy already is expecting JSON, then no issues it will come, right? But you are sending text, but that guy
Mm.
was expecting JSON, there is some conflict will occur, right? That time what happened, you can choose like this actually, what type of data you are sending. I want to send application JSON, then keep it.
Mm.
Understood.
Mm.
So that is a MIME type. So next one is that is about flow variable. I just define that. I just set the information further. So this is a Mule expression language. Okay, how can I get?
This flow variable will be in the request and response, right? It will be valid for request and response.
That's what. So here it will act as an input variable.
Scope of the variable.
In the response, that will act as a outbound properties. Now it will act as a inbound properties, right? In the anywhere flow. If it will go to target system, same inbound property, it will act as a outbound property. Understood?
Right, right. The same QP name we can use it in response flow also, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's what. So this input, after some time in
We
the
can use this
flow, will
variable.
act as outbound properties. Okay?
Right, right. That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, fine. So next one is
So the scope will be in request and response.
no actually. The scope is different actually. The scope is now this just now in the flow here it was creating, right? After some time it will convert as a outbound property,
Mm.
right? Scope means if you are talking
Convert.
about scope, that time suppose I have a two flows. This is one flow, I have another subflow. I defined a variable here. You can check it until unless the target system reach. That time only that scope is available. After target system might be that that becomes as a outbound property. That is not inbound property, right?
Mm.
You are getting what I'm saying. If you want
Yeah,
to
but the
see,
variable will be the same, right?
hmm? Sorry.
A variable name and variable will be the same.
Yeah, variable name is same, but what we call that scope is different actually. That becomes as a outbound property. We can't call it as it's a inbound property. And
Mm.
one more thing, that outbound property also it will act as a inbound property for another flow. Might be after hitting the target system, you are getting the response. After getting the response, if you call another flow, you are getting. If you call another flow,
Mm.
that outbound property it will act as a inbound property for other flow.
Mm.
Hope you are getting. Now this variable is QP name acts as a inbound property. Coming here. See this? See this? Clearly.
Yeah, okay.
This is it's reached a target end of the.
Okay.
I just mentioned outbound properties of QP name. You are getting. So now it is an outbound property because it's the end of the flow. Then suppose here I just kept a one subflow here, or else any other subflow, or else I kept it as subflow. See here, if it is another flow, the same thing it will reach here, right? It will reach here, right? That time what happen? It will act as an inbound property again. Simple thing, man. So you are sending some input property for your flow. After reaching your target, that will act as an outbound property. After hitting the target system, you are getting response. That response, if you pass same response to the any other flow, again that will act as an inbound property. Okay, na?
Just drag another flow. Can you just drag another main flow?
No, actually, that's what I'm saying. We have to hit the target system. We are not hitting any target system here. For that, we have to
No, no, that
drag and drop the database or else drag and drop that SFDC connector. That will go to the outside. Understood?
no, no. Just I'll tell you one scenario. Actually, some message is coming from the input.
Okay.
That message, some part of the message I am storing in this variable. Okay. That I don't want to hit the target. Those elements I don't want to hit the target.
Okay.
I am storing in this variable, and in the response flow, I just want to add that and send to client. That's it.
Not getting. Not getting. Can you repeat again? I just drag and drop subflow.
Yeah. See one mm, some description element is there in
Okay.
the input flow. Okay.
Oh, here. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There I am saving in that variable that
Okay. Description variable. Okay.
description
See.
field.
Oh.
Description field. I am saving in that variable.
Oh.
Actually, that I don't want to send it to the target system.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So it is this flow is hitting some database and getting some value,
Hmm.
and while response flow will be there, right? While going to the client.
No, actually, you can remove it, right? That's what there is a property. You are saying you don't want to send to the target system. You just remove it. So that will remove from the message actually. It won't go to the target system.
Okay.
So just
Actually, is there two kind of flows in Mule, like request and response flow?
no flows are three
Request
things.
to flow and
No,
response flow.
no. Request response is it will act as based on your inbound connector actually. Request response. But here flows are different. There are three types of flows: subflow, main flow, then private flow. Coming to request response, your whatever you drag and drop your inbound connector, that will tell you. So either request response or only request or like that.
So it will this variable will be valid for request and response flow. That's what I'm asking. That's it.
Yes, that will valid. So that's what here. So this is
Yeah.
my end of the flow. I'm just displaying as a QP names. Whatever you mention name here, right? So here I just keep it a variable name, right? I just keep it a variable name, right? You this using this variable until and so simple thing. So here using QP name. So while starting time, you are sending as an inbound property, right? Outside. So after reaching here, that is the end of the flow. That is the end of the flow. That will act as a outbound property because that is the response. Yes, whatever you are saying correct. But that QP name is valid request and response, right? But
That's what I'm asking.
yeah, but if
Yeah.
you reach the end of the flow, that will act as a outbound property because that is the result.
Hmm.
That's yeah,
Yeah,
obviously
yeah, that's
correct. That will
okay.
valid. Okay, now.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the scenario. Another one is this is about variable. There is one more component called property, set the property. You can set the property, you can remove the property, you can copy the property. Similarly, variable actually. See here also see this. I'm trying to one more. So one more query parameter I'm trying to get it. So same way, message dot inbound properties, HTTP dot query parameters. That one also I'm trying to get as a query parameter. That is name. Previously what you are getting here also name okay, here also name. See here we can use either variable or else either property actually. So there is some difference between this variable and the property actually. Sometimes what happen, you are using in your flow some groovy component or else some other things. That time what happened, mm, we are trying to get using mule expression. There is a different way we can able to get it actually. If you want to get this variable There is a syntax called flow variables. Flow variables dot variable name we can give it. If it is a property, we can invoke the property actually. Same thing, invoke the property. So see, extra thing is here, we can copy the properties. We can copy the properties. We can here also remove the properties there. Then one more thing is there is a message properties. At a time we can define multiple properties also. So there is a message properties. So if you see the message property here, we can add multiple properties here. If we click plus multiple things, we can add it in a single shot. I want to send 10 parameters, 10 variables. You can say properties. So I want to send properties means key value pair. Key value pair I want to add it. So then that time what happened? Here it's a key we can add it. Some XYZ something value you can add it. So that should be added dynamically actually. Like this we can add it actually. So thing is I want to send some property multiple values to the target system, right? That time what happened in a single
Mm.
component we can define all. Is it clear?
Mhm.
So, but if you use single component, just property, almost same actually. Either you can use variable or else either you can use property. If you want to define multiple, you can use message properties. The extra thing is just we have to copy the property. See this, we can copy that property.
Mhm.
We can remove the property. Okay, so using property also we can able to get the query parameters. Then finally I'm trying to display logger. So there is a logger component is there. We'll discuss about, we already discussed about this logger. I just drag and drop that logger. So I'm trying to display that what you are getting in the qp name, right, that is coming or not. I'm trying to just display on the server logs that uh, query parameter name, qp name. Okay, I'm going to deploy this. I will show you how to send the query parameters in URL. Run as mail application.
And variables, is it a local, global? Do you have any kind of that?
Yes, that's what. So now whatever I defined, there is nothing but a flow variable. So there is another variable called session variable. I will tell you the scope actually. What was the difference between session variable and this variable actually? Sometimes what happened, we'll use flow references, right? Flow reference.
This is local, right? It is local.
It's a
This
basic
is
flow
local,
variable.
right?
We can't say local here, that is terminology different here. This we can call it as a flow variable.
Okay.
Okay, within the flow, the scope
Flow
of the
variable.
piece within the flow. If
Okay.
there is another variable called session variable. Actually generally people will use only these two type of variables, session variable and normal flow variable. So flow variable and session variable, uh, the scope of that flow variable is within the flow. So I want to, my flow scope is my variable scope is outside of my flow also, means I want to use same thing into my subflow also. That time what happen, you have to use session flow, session session variability, session
That's what
variability.
I'm asking. Mhm.
In that,
Session.
if you define the session variable, what happened, whatever you are defining the data, right, that keep on available. But people won't prefer session variable until unless your requirement is demanded. That time only will go for a session variable.
Mm.
So why? Because I'm saying so that memory issue will come, some memory leaks will come actually, because that keep on holding that unnecessary data in the variable, right? So here what happened, once your target system complete, right, that time it will, even if you call other flow also, that variable won't available into the other flow. But if you use session variable, what happen? That variable data keep on available into other flows also, other subflows or else private flows. Understood?
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
what
difference.
I'm asking. Mm.
Next one is
So you will be using only session in your project, session variable.
no, I never use a session actually, because that's what. So people won't prefer to use session variable actually. Generally, if you use the
Mm-hmm.
variable, that scope is within a flow, that is enough actually. If you want to really that subflow also required, we can define another variable, you can hold it, right? We can hold it. Mostly people won't prefer, but too based on the requirement actually. If really want it, we can use it, no issue.
Okay.
Okay. See here how I am sending the data to the your service. See this. This is the where local host 7031. Anyway, you know that port number, host name you have to pass it. Then variable is nothing but this uh, this path actually. You have to pass basic path, right? That path. Next one you see here. This guy was I'm sending parameter to this, right? Query parameter. How I am sending? How I am sending? Some name equal to some vector. Because here, see this here, this guy was expecting name, right? Name as a query parameters. That's why, see this after path, you have to keep it a question mark. You have to keep it a question mark, then
Okay.
followed by name equal to thank you. See this, I'm not displaying anything on the browser. I just display on the log, right? See, you can see the log, you can see the okay. So any questions? Okay. So another one is similarly one
Okay. What about the property? Property.
what?
Property. What it is holding.
Yeah, yeah. For that only I'm showing another one. Another one.
Okay.
See here. So there is another thing. So one more variable I define same thing HTTP query parameter. Here I am sending two parameters actually. One is name, another one is type actually. So two things I just defined here. So I'm trying to display both the things actually, name and type. Here coming to property, both are same actually. Both are same. That's what variable and property both are same, but difference is if you use a multiple variables, if you want to define multiple variables into defining a single component, that time we'll go for message properties. Apart from that, so both are same actually. Either you can use a property or else either we can use a variable, but extra thing will come in the property, that copy property is there. We can copy text, we can copy other property value into here actually, but in the variable there is no that type of scenario. We can't able to copy it, but we can able to remove it actually. Okay.
In property, you cannot remove, right?
No, property also remove it.
There is
There is
also
copy
remove.
property, we can
Okay.
copy paste it that property, but here we can't able to copy variable.
Okay. Mhm.
See this, how to send two parameters. As of now I'm sending only one parameter, right? So for sending two parameters, so you can send multiple parameters here, but how to send it? So first one is it will start after path, base path, context path. So start with question mark, then first parameter. So first parameter equaled that value. This is a key, this is a value. So we are reading based on the key actually. We are reading based on the key. This is a value. See, I'm trying to send multiple parameter. So that segregation is we have to use ampersand symbol. You can send multiple values based on the requirement actually. So you can send, there is a limit actually. This is a get request. There is, we have to send through URL only 256 characters, not more than that. You are getting right? So only 256 characters you can send in the URL. If you want to send more than 256 character, you have to use a method as a post. This is a get request. In the get request, we have to send only 256 characters. There is a limitation. So here, how to add multiple parameters? We have to use this segregation as a ampersand symbol. You can send like this, multiple you can send it unless it should less than 256 characters. Okay, I'm sending two parameters now. Our application got deployed. See this now. See, I'm trying to display again here.
You are sending name and type as query parameters, right?
Yeah. Name and type as a query parameter. That's what. Name and type as a two parameters I'm sending. One is name, another one is type. I'm saying what? Why it is displaying? Oh, here also I kept only name. See this automatically. If you save it, the deployment automatically happened actually. No need to restart your server. Even though, even though it is coming only one. So we can see in debug mode actually. So what the variables are getting actually, I will show in debug mode. I'm trying to hit it. See here, click this. You can see here variable names actually. So as of now, no variables, right? As of now, no inbound variables. You can see different types of your whole project related stuff. So that what is the URL, what is the method? We are using get method, right? We are using path is variable slash variable. Your host, your query parameter. See this whole URI, you can see it. So you are sending name equal Venkat and type equal some IT. So that whole related stuff, which browser you are using. So you can see sometimes what happen, you have to capture this user agent version. So you can see all these related to your query, your what we call your URL information, you can see here. Next, as of now, no variables. Let's see, I'm just clicking next level. See this, as of now, what is the variable here? QP name equal Venkat. Only one variable is getting. So this is the property. So now see the inbound. Here also it should come actually, that query parameter. Sorry?
F6, right? You are pressing F6.
Yes, yes. See this here. You can see query parameters. Two query parameters we are getting. One is name, another one is type as a query parameters. But as a variable, we are getting only one. Okay, see this here. You can see type also actually. It will come as a internally. It will convert into some abstract map, simple entry kind of thing. You can see. And finally, you are displaying this. Okay. Okay, just that is about actually. So flow variables, we'll see tomorrow session variable how it will work. I will show you different flows. We'll create different flows, then we'll see the scope of that actually. What was the scope of this normal variable, what was the scope of session variable? We'll see the difference clearly. Okay, let's go to this session. Did you get yesterday recording?